You always say that, but I do not think you are so terrible. Yes, you may be pretty rough around the edges, but that does not make you a bad person.
I'm not talking about my lack of manners. I'm talking stealing, lying, deceiving people since I was 9.
Since such a young age.
Yep. It was then when the bandits took me under their protection and made me live like one of them.
Wow. You were quite the gifted child.
Not how I would have put it, Princess.
What happened? How did you end up in such a situation?
Long story short, my father died coughing like an old man. We never knew what he caught. After that, my mother decided we had to leave town and go to the capital, where some relatives would take care of us. Before we could leave, she also fell ill and died from a high fever. It was probably the same disease.
I am so sorry.
Don't be. It's been 10 years already.
What did you do after that?
Being the stupid child that I was, I had the great idea of following my mother's plan on my own. I took what little food we had left and headed into the woods, expecting to cross them and reach the city in search of those relatives that I later found out did not exist.
Alone?
A completely foolproof plan, if I do say so myself. So, after the most terrifying night in my life, I found myself in the middle of the forest, lost and alone. Food was running scarce, and I kept wandering for who knows how long. Just when I thought all hope was lost, I came across a group of bandits that had just robbed some travelers. I guess the boss felt pity for me, so they took me in.
Well, at least you were fortunate enough to meet them.
You've got to be joking. Those sons of bitches made sure I never forgot my debt to them. And shortly after taking me under their protection, they forced me to rob city folk, or else I wouldn't get any food for the day.
Good grief.
Since I was smaller and more agile than them, they also used me to sneak into places. So that's what I had to do to survive. Mind you, I'm not trying to justify myself to make you feel sorry for me, okay? With time, I even took a liking to stealing and threatening people at knife point. I became just another bandit, condemned to live that way forever. But hey, it's not like I expect someone like you to understand.
Are you saying that because I had a comfortable life?
Comfortable? Any girl would kill to live 1/10 of what you have lived.
Well, I will not even try to compete with what you have been through. It is evident that you have been through much worse than me. But I have not lived as happy of a life as you might think.
So you're saying that little princesses can also cry?
For other reasons, but yes. I have lived all my life in the shadow of my lineage.
Your lineage? What are you, royalty?
Let us say that through my veins runs a somewhat special blood, descending directly from the Nodam.
A daughter of the gods' messengers, no less. And you expect me to not call you princess?
That is why my family are the ones in charge of the Temple of Euda. We are the only remnants of Nodam on the mainland.
Of course, because they ran off and bailed out. And if you're that special, what the hell are you doing traveling alone with a dirty bandit? Shouldn't your daddy be extremely worried about what happens to his little girl?
Father hopes that I turn back to the temple scared and without completing the pilgrimage. There are 2 things that our family takes very seriously: keeping promises and keeping the Nodam's pride and honor. If I am here with you, it is for those 2 reasons. I want to bet against my father, and his pride prevents him from even trying to clip my wings.
Well, well. So you played your cards right and got away with it. And why so much interest in the pilgrimage? Apart from the learning thing.
Precisely to fulfill a promise. I promised my mother. I swore on her deathbed that I would not make the same mistakes as father. And that I would truly help people.
So your mother's dead too?
And it seems that she died in a similar way to yours, 6 years ago. Since then, I have had to carry all her responsibilities, in addition to continuing my education. And even before that, I spent my life preparing for that moment, night and day. It is what a descendant of the Nodum is supposed to do.
So, what worries you is having to meet the expectations of literally everyone, of an entire continent.
I was speechless. You could infer how I was feeling exactly just by hearing that little about me. Thank you for understanding. Unlikely as it sounds, you are the first to do so. Throughout my life, everyone just told me that this is what you should do, regardless of what I thought. It is precisely because of my duties that I had to make this pilgrimage. This would be my only chance.
Why is that?
I turned 20 years old a few months ago. When I turn 21, according to our traditions, I must lock myself in the temple forever. I won't be able to walk the streets of Euda.
So, this pilgrimage is a way to delay the inevitable, right? You said this could take a couple of years.
Indeed. And I plan to make good use of them.